So you say you never had a man that make you feel like this. Yeah, before we go any farther, there is something that I want to kiss. So baby, let's take a shower so you can put on your sweet perfume. So you can pretend to be the bride, and this will be our honeymoon. Now put your arm on my neck. We don't need no towel, babe. I like it when I like it when we get slow it down if you want to. But there is something that I want to do. I want to go deeper, deeper. It's something that I want to do. I just want to be deeper, deeper. Be your mind, babe. I want to go deeper, deeper. It's something that I want to do. I just want to be deeper, deeper. Be your mind, babe. She's so ready. And violets are blue. But a rose is nothing if I can't give it to you. You're my sun, sunshine, baby, and my rain. And when I'm around, baby, you take away all my pain. That's why I wanna go deeper, deeper. It's something that I want to do. I just wanna be you deeper, deeper. I'll be your mama, babe. I wanna go deeper, deeper. It's something that I wanna do. I just wanna be you deeper, deeper. I'll be your mama, babe. Baby, there is something that I wanna say to you. Can I count the ways, baby? Can I count the ways? Can I count the ways? Listen to me, girl. One, can we have some fun? Two, what do you wanna do? Three, I'm so glad you're with me. Four, can we lock down on the floor? Five, I wanna make you mine. Why? Six, anything that's broken, I feel. Seven, girl, I feel like I'm in heaven. Eight, I can barely wait. 9, said I wanna hit it from behind. 10, can we do it all over again? 11, it's everything that I imagine. 12, we done told our bed with deeper, deeper. This is something that I want to do. I just want to be you deeper, deeper. I'll be your mommy, babe. I wanna go deeper, deeper. This is something that I wanna do. I just wanna please you deeper, deeper. In your body, babe. What's going on, Conscious Crew? I am so sorry for the delay, girl. It's a lot going on, honey. Especially when you're planning shows with guests and all of that. You guys know we have a live stream set right after this one that involves guests. So trying to figure timing out everything, it'd be a lot going on. But what's going on, you guys? We are here. We're in the building. Late night session. You guys already know what to do. Please thumbs up this video. I know a lot of you guys want to know, who is this artist? This is Deeper in Your Body by Stan Butler, aka Mr. 47-8. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and share my screen real quick so you guys can see that. You can take a screenshot of it, or my good old Shazam, folk. We'll put Mr. Jam to work, honey. Yes, okay. This is that piece right there, Deeper in Your Body by Stan Butler. Okay, just type Deeper in Your Body on YouTube for all your nasty mint. Now, I know a lot of people work out to a lot of like high intense hip hop, heavy metal, rock music. I actually listen to slow jams like this when I work out. It helps me to get into the mood, you know, makes me feel sexy when I'm sweating. It also brings interesting imaging to my mind that motivates me to keep this stomach flat and this ass fat, because I know what I'm working out to accomplish, baby. Okay. So I work out to slow music, okay? Try it. It's another vibe to working out, honey, okay? It's a very interesting vibe. Really connects you to your body, soul, and your mind. Now, we got quite a bit to get into. Not really a lot. This should not be a long live stream. The T.S. Madison portion probably will take up most of this commentary. You guys know that we have been wearing Latasha Scott and her 613 lace wig full of lies completely out, baby. Okay, so we had to come through and touch on a bit more of Latasha and her interesting, multifaceted husband who probably should be locked the fuck up. Okay, but you guys will see what I mean. Hold on, this is Donat calling. Hold on. Hello? Oh, good, because I had pushed it back that far anyway. So I just went. All right. All right. I'm on live right now, so bye. All right. Nigament. So we got to get into some things, girls. So before we get thick off in this bitch, go ahead and thumbs up this video until it is start up. Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be king. Matter of fact, I got a crown. I'm gonna put my crown on in the next live stream. Okay. Thumbs up this video. Okay, you guys know that thumbing up helps with YouTube's algorithm, and it triggers up the notification system, which is why you guys see this live stream growing. YouTube naturally only sends out notifications to less than 10% of your subscriber account, but when you get the thumbing up, baby, it triggers these mother lovers up and sends out those waves of notifications to all of the other unsuspecting Conscious crew members who have no idea that we are live and in color. Also, please make sure that you share this stream out, because
That's just the old-fashioned way of getting the word out that your favorite king is kanging right now. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, what's going on? Hey, everybody. Since we got started late, I am not going to be able to go through this live stream and greet everybody, but shout out to everybody. Shout out to my donators, to all of you who have been donating on PayPal and Cash App. Thank you so much. Y'all keep the kangin', baby, okay? Now, getting straight into it. You guys know that Escape is having a second rebirth, but there's only been one resurrection. Well, there's been 3 resurrections with the exemption of one little birdie who just can't make it successfully out of the net. And that has been, I'm talking about the nesta, and that has been Latasha Scott. So you guys know by now, in a nutshell, that there's a reality show going on called Escape, an SWV reality show. It is supposed to document the women attempting to get on the same page and bring both powerhouse R&B groups together to give the fans what the fans want, okay? However, things have kind of been railroaded and avalanche over what seems to be egos in terms of this actual attempt to put on this grand show and tour for all of the 90s fans, and some family secrets that have came bursting out of their seams. You guys know that one of the most shocking and bomb-dropping of those family secrets that have escaped the family's vote has been this allegation from Tamika Scott that her sister, Latasha Scott, and husband in tow, Rocky Edward Bivens, allegedly, fraudulently misappropriated $30,000 of royalty money that was entitled to Miss Tamika. Miss Tamika has backed up those claims now by forged signatures, copies of the check. She even brought on Tiny's mother, who was initially the person responsible for signing the girls up for this website called Sound Exchange, which is responsible for issuing out excess money that groups prior to the year 2000 are entitled to, but may not have received. Once you sign these groups and these artists up, Sound Exchange then goes into doing whatever they do and starts distributing checks accordingly. Now, you guys know that Unhinged with Budweiser K leaked a phone call between her and Rocky Edward Bivens, and she was asked, or she asked him about this $30K, and he kind of pussy popped around the situation. He essentially admitted it without admitting it by saying that sometimes these companies get the sisters confused. So there have been times where allegedly Tamika has spent Latasha's money and Latasha have spent Tamika's money. But that essentially, no, they did not steal or misappropriate said coin. Well, Tamika went on to also have to pay big Bitcoin regarding taxes on money she never even received. So her and her husband have been essentially held responsible for money that never made it to her mailbox. Now, Latasha Scott has been pussy popping as the show has been airing on every radio station under the sun, including most recently the Ricky Smiley Show. Now, on the Ricky Smiley Show, Latasha said that she has her receipts too. Okay, and she really doesn't know what this is ultimately about. And no, she did not steal any of Tamika's money. She's went on a diatribe regarding her own initial live, the most recent one where she was a snotty-nosed mess, and the Ricky Smiley show. In this middle ground space, she's holding to this idea that she ain't do shit, but then also saying it's complicated and that everybody was broke and poor and struggling at the time, and that it's a very delicate and sensitive situation. So now we can safely take Tamika's claim completely out of an allegation into more of a fact-based place, because between the receipts, between Rocky inadvertently admitting that the money may have been spent accidentally, which we know there is nothing accidental about how these checks got restrained to Latasha's house and then ultimately deposited into Rocky Edward Bivens' personal account. Allegedly, they've done side-by-side comparisons between Latasha Scott's signature and the forged signature of Tamika Scott's name on those checks, and they are damn near identical. Okay? It's a lot going on. So, as a last-ditch effort, Latasha ended up saying that she just wants her and her sister to deal with this without the public's involvement, that family matters to her more than anything, even though her own father, Randolph Scott, did an interview on YouTube stating that he's been blocked and cut off by Latasha, and he doesn't even know why, because everything was just fine and dandy. She was at his last 69th birthday, which was just last year. They've also attended a few funerals together throughout, last year, but over the past 6 months, it's been a no-show. And when he tried to call her just a few weeks ago, he got Miss Motherfucking Operator on the line. Okay, so everybody got issues. Xscape also has since went on a bunch of press tours and expounded more on a lot of the shady alleged dealings and practices of Latasha and her husband. And the recent episode of the Xscape and SWV show expounded even more upon those shady dealings. Girl. So before we get into Latasha, let's just get into Xscape in this most recent episode. I first want to say that as it relates to this whole name change, headlining, who name should go where, is it Xscape featuring SWV, SWV featuring Xscape? The girls ultimately decided to co-headline. But if you ask me, I think that Xscape should have been the headliner, okay? Now, I know that SWV's plight is that, excuse me, this Pepsi getting to me. We have sold more records than you all, but you all saw in the most recent episode that when the producers went to run the receipts, SWV only sold 1 million more copies of their album than Xscape did. So they aren't like exceptionally more successful than Xscape. They only have 1 mile out of a win from Xscape, okay? But sitting record and album sales aside, let's just bring this all down to some basic ass math. Bitch, y'all ain't that relevant in the culture, SWV. And I can't believe y'all was damn near willing to stomp Kandi, Tiny, Tamika, and Latasha 613 line-ass lace wig into a bloody hill over a headline situation. I feel like the girls bringing up who's more relevant today was relevant to the conversation in terms of who should go before who, and between the clout behind Tiny and the clout behind Kandi. These girls have spaces and avenues of promotion outside of their musical identities. They're reality stars, they're songwriters, they are currently connected to the culture, they have YouTube platforms, they have larger followings online. They're bringing a lot more to the table than just their songs. They're bringing their clout, they're bringing their sensationalism, they're bringing everything that helps to drive more viewers into purchasing actual tickets. Now, there was a on It episode tonight that Kandi featured Tiny on. Okay, and Tiny said something very critical about this entire first or last opener headliner situation. I mean, it damn near became Monique and D.L. Hughley all over again. She said, look, them whores might have sold more records, but we sell more tickets. Case closed, bitch. Case closed. There's no argument for who sells more records. When one group sells more tickets, and we're talking about going on tour, we're not talking about a joint album. Neither group is really releasing any new music. They're just going to tour the world and perform songs that were already published, produced, and have already had their big moment. Now, Kandi said one of the consensus from the SWV girls was that they felt some of the talking points of Kandi and Tiny were shady and egotistical, and that when you preference a statement with no disrespect or no shade, but it's actually shade, I totally disagree with that. I feel like people bring their fragile ass egos to conversations. This was a business conversation. There was a big part of this discussion about headlining and who gets paid what or whatever it was that was going to involve the facts. And if SWV is going to call Escape out for bringing up their relevance to the culture and their social media following and essentially their current clout, then SWV is simply just as at fault for bringing up how many more albums they sold than Escape did. I feel like SWV couldn't put their egos apart. Okay, they couldn't separate the ego and deal with the numbers and then reason together. Okay, but hands down, I think headliner should have went to Escape versus SWV, because what comes with Escape is Tiny Harris and Kandi Burruss, who are currently popping and relevant to the culture, and those names alone would have added a bit more volume to those who would have been interested in seeing the show, even if they would have brought tickets to ultimately just see one of the Real Housewives of Atlanta or T.I.'s wife. Okay, SWV has no currency. Okay, their claim to fame is their initial era. We're in 2023. Okay, also, Tiny said something else very fucking incredible. And I mean, it could be taken as shady. I mean, look, I understand this is no shade to SWV. I love SWV. I think their music is great. I think they're wonderful. I think they're gorgeous. But Tiny really did clock the hell out of them in tonight's episode of Speak On It as well, which is why I was late. I was watching that shit, okay? Tiny said, look, it ain't like we could take anything away from them. We actually introduced them to a lot. Tiny said that they introduced SWV to dancers. Currently, SWV has been touring. They don't dance. They ain't got no damn dancers. Okay, they don't use a DJ. Okay, they don't use pyros, text, graphics. Essentially, Tiny reduced them in a very loving way to being three goddamn grandmas. Y'all putting on an acapella banjo ass over 50-year-old performance. And y'all want a headline with your good singing, can't drop it like it's hot asses. Okay? I think that was another reason why Escape should have headlined, because they were packing the punch with production. They're the group who are going to give you a show. You're going to come to hear SWV going to give you songs. They're going to sing, baby. Okay, just take your seat, feel in the pews. They're going to sing you down. Escape gonna sing, but they gonna entertain your ass, okay? They ain't just got an ass, it got some weight on it, okay? So, hey, headliner for sure, Escape, but taking nothing away from SWV. I think they're dope. It would be nice to see both groups come together. I hope they're working out. Now, moving back around to Miss Latasha Scott. You guys know that she's been slapping that 613 lace front backwards and forwards, and recently declared to us that she took after her godmother Monique and been in an open marriage for some time now, and we just didn't know about it, okay? She said it's been very hard to admit this because the public is so judgmental and has been judging them about having an open marriage that nobody knew they were in until she blurted it out in a attempt to save her husband from embarrassing himself and from embarrassing her. As I said in my last live, what Latasha should have said was that, baby, I just learned with y'all that I'm in an open marriage. Not that I am in an open marriage. And as I said in my last live, I'll say it again today, we know that they're not in an open marriage because Rocky would have used that as his excuse for why Unhinged with Budweiser's K interview with Tia Wanda and all the rest of his whores were coming forward to expose him. He would have said, hey, this is going to be shocking to the world, but me and my wife are in a open marriage. You can bring every last one of them chicks on if you want to, baby. Y'all can run several years back of text messages. You can show my pain. You can expose the I love yous and all of that, baby. Me and my wife are one. Well, I didn't realize at the time that not only did Rocky not double down on an open relationship, Latasha didn't think her defense and her deflection all the way through, because he actually verbatim rebuked and denied an open marriage concept. And I want to play it for you right here. How doing? Thumbs up this video. You better thumbs up the video. How doing? How doing, honey? Where's my gallery graph? How doing? Okay, how doing? Listen to Rocky admit that no open marriage exists. Hold on. All right, listen to this shit.
Life. Me and my wife we ain't got no open relationship. I don't run around promising people lifestyles without a life. Me and my wife we ain't got no open relationship. Me and my wife we ain't got no open relationship. I don't run around promising people lifestyles without. When it came to sex, it was sex to her. It's my
That's another soundbite we're gonna get into. But did you guys hear that? Me and my wife ain't got no damn open relationship. Okay? One more time.
Without her, and guess what? When you are me, life. Me and my wife we ain't got no open relationship.
Me and my wife ain't got no damn open relationship. Just line and line and line and line. I told you, baby, this is the type of line, baby, that just don't give a damn, baby. This is like top tier radioactive line spirit, baby. Just don't, baby, they don't even try to coordinate the script. Okay, he be off in this direction, she be off in another damn direction. Okay, so I'm gonna need Latasha to just sit the fuck down and find her something else to do. I really think there is a spirit in that 613 lace front. I wouldn't be surprised if she was able to be a brand new woman, if she would go brunette. Okay, maybe redhead. Okay, that, you know, she activate a different personality, because hair and weaving wigs do have spirits in them, baby. Okay, that's why for all of y'all who like to foreplay with your man and things, y'all don't show up in the lingerie with the same wig on for your husband that you fold his drawers in. Okay, y'all don't show up in the same wig with the thong on, with the edible thongs on for your husband, baby, that you cook breakfast, dinner, and lunch and pick up the kids, okay, from basketball rehearsals and things from, baby. Okay, you put on your whole wig, baby. Okay, you put on your slut bucket hair, baby. You put on your I don't know Jesus yet hair, sugar. Okay, so she might want to try another color, another length, another fit, another damn texture. Okay, now this episode of Escape and the SWB reality show explored a bit more of the scandalous line-ass nature of Rocky Edward Bivens, baby. More goddamn receipts were shown. Okay, they showed how. What did they show? Because I'm getting Kandi speak on it and SWB episode confused. Tamika showed text messages from one of the promoters who was basically being sidelined, okay, by Rocky, who was trying to extrapolate an extra finder's fee for booking the girls under the nose of Escape, who at that time that Rocky was doing all this also did not include Kandi. It was only Latasha, Tamika, and Tiny at this time. Rocky was trying to take a handful of finder's fee, okay, promising to book the girls, which was putting pressure on Latasha to get Kandi back a part of the group. And let me tell you how manipulative Latasha is. Kandi said on Tonight, looking back in retrospect, that when Latasha was trying to get her back into the group, and then there was a conversation where Latasha was like, girl, I'm the one who wanted you back. I'm the one who wanted you back in the group. Kandi did say at the time that those conversations were happening, she did find it weird because she hasn't been Latasha's favorite like ever. And she's always taking the blame for everything that Miss Latasha could not accomplish. They've always butted heads, disagreed, etc. They just never got along, and they did not have a relationship outside of a business one. But when these text messages that she never saw until that day that they were filming, it all came back to her, and she realized, oh my God, this is why your ass was trying to get me back into the group, because your husband was making false promises and taking thousands of dollars of a finder's fee he was not entitled to, and that none of the members of Escape knew about. Okay, and the only way he could make good on that money that was given to him under the pretense that Escape would be booked and busy was to get my black ass back in the group. And because once again, this is your husband and your man, and you know exactly what was going on, you and him once again was on code. You were not trying to get me back into the group because you loved me and we sisters, and Escape just needs to be a foursome rather than a damn trinity. You once again were trying to cover for your damn husband, keep his goddamn schemes from toppling up, and y'all both were running off with our damn coin. Then she said tonight on Speak On It with Tiny that They still haven't told everything, despite how explosive these allegations and these receipts and all of this has been. They are still scratching the surface. They still haven't gotten into the nitty gritty, even with Tamika coming forward with her receipts and also claiming that she's being blackmailed by her sister and her husband. They're trying to extort her to keep her mouth closed, blackmailing her, threatening her through anonymous text messages. But she also said that Rocky called Sprint, impersonated her, got access to her personal data regarding her phone, and was able to extrapolate nude images of her. Even with all of that coming up and out, still not scratching the goddamn surface. What? Look, we're gonna move on from Latasha and get into Rocky. But let me say this, and I rarely ever say this. There are very few people who I believe, like, well, I ain't gonna say few, baby. You know, I don't really do cancel people, but Latasha does not deserve the well wishes given to her by Kandi and Tiny tonight, who still, amidst all of this, wished her well. Even though Latasha's husband just got up on Unhinged's platform and threw Kandi's husband under the damn bus and said that there's an alleged sex tape that is going to come out of Todd on his knees performing fellatio to a trans woman, still wished her well. Still said everybody should buy her record. Let me tell you, the only way and reason that should happen, because I'm all for, you know, I'm a Christian myself. I'm a cussing one. I'm a fussing one. I'm a put you in your motherfucking place ass type of Christian, but Christian nonetheless. Me and Jesus, we like this, okay? My Jesus got cornrows too. So I'm all for sinners having a past and not having a past, but having a future, and saints having a past. We all love a good underdog redemption story. But I'm not wishing no motherfucker well who does not even have the basic tenets of Christ in them while they're professing to be Jesus, which is at least the ability to be honest and to confess one's sins. See, I understand being saved and loving God and being a human. None of us ain't perfect. We slip up intentionally. We slip up accidentally, and sometimes we intentionally be on our bald-headed whole shit. But Latasha won't even face the receipt. She won't even face the reality of the choices she's made, even though the receipts have came down in stone tablets in writing from the Lord. Even the most recent episode of the Escape show involved Latasha denying the text thread between the promoter and Rocky. Oh, anybody could have did that. Anybody that I could. I'm going to tell you what happens when we support people, not people who make mistakes and fall short. That's perfectly fine. But when you support delusional people, egotistical people, and you don't ask for accountability, you only support them coming into more power and more influence where they can victimize people at a higher value. And if Latasha has done this to her own sister and two other girls for no reason at all other than it being who she is, then we can only logically conclude and assume that there's going to be more victims ahead. So why support somebody who has not changed, continues to double down on all they wrong, irregardless of corroborating evidence, irregardless of corroborating testimony, regardless of objective receipts, and continue to support them forward? Why? So there can be 3 more girls talking about how they've been railroaded, how they've been duped, how they've been hoodwinked and bamboozled by the damn dynamic duo? How? It's a mess. So, no. My wish is going to be for Latasha to get her motherfucking shit together. And until you do, make everything you touch turn into blonde syntheticness. May every motherfucking lace front convert itself to a lace back. May every damn sew in convert itself into a sew out. Until you can get your shit together, baby, I hope that the thread and the stitching in them damn wigs just become undone again and again and again and again and again, baby. Let heaven rain justice on them frontals. Now, moving along to Mr. Rocky Givens. Or is it Edward's hell? Because Latasha can't make up her damn mind what the hell the name of her damn husband is, despite the fact that Edward Bivens is literally on their shared LLC. Okay? Now, you guys also remember in that conversation with Unhinged that was leaked, that Rocky Bivens motherfucking said that we all should go listen to his last BBC or NBC segment regarding R. Kelly and all them. And baby, between that Negro and Bishop Whitehead, I don't know why they refer us, literally encourage us to go look at damning and incriminating as things regarding them, because it doesn't help. I don't know whether he threw that R. Kelly-ish out there to get thinking it was going to peak. Because let me tell you, I had to make sense of why Rocky? Why Rocky? BBC did. Yeah. Why Rocky? It's clear that everything Rocky did in his conversation with Unhinged was to basically get her to back down. Whether it was trying to trigger her up with the word feds, who are clearly after her ass, or whether it was him referring her to the BBC interview where he spoke about the R. Kelly thing, because he knows that R. Kelly has been a point of interest for Unhinged and her brand. Y'all know all those videos she did with the brother and all of that, and you know, she got all up into R. Kelly's business and even illegally accessed his record, allegedly, girl, a drunk wine, yeah, all of that, girl. Okay, so he was just throwing shit up against the wall to try to ultimately get Unhinged to choose him over Tia Wanda, who essentially he shouldn't have been worried about since she allegedly is under investigation. Well, I went and looked at the damn interview, and I'm confused. I'm gonna tell you why, and I hope my damn phone don't die before I play these sound bites. Okay, let me throw up my goddamn fair use here. How doing? Thumbs up the video until it is stuck. If you're in the building, whether you're a bush baby, actively in these streets, honey, give me a nasty piece of thumbs up. How doing? Okay, let's run. I hope this stuff plays, because my phone do not like to play videos, girl, when she is on her dying bed. How doing? So listen, these are excerpts from that BBC interview grab. Okay, listen to this shit here.
If a girl was in a room and she had a big booty, If she
was 15 or 20, she had a big booty to him.
Okay, so let's deal with that. At this point in the interview, he's being asked basically about R. Kelly and these allegations about him being a pedo, right? So he's saying, look, R. Kelly always had an affinity toward younger girls. Basically, if a female looked good to him, he didn't give a damn whether she was a 40-year-old good-looking girl or rather she was 15, 16 years old. Now, this is Rocky Bivens in that BBC interview because he used to do personal security work for R. Kelly for years. And he was aware that R. Kelly had a attraction to girls of any and all ages. Let me just run that back one more time.
When it came to sex, it was sex to her. It's like age. If a girl was in a room and she had a big booty, she had a big booty. If she was 15 or 20, she had a big booty to him.
Okay, so he said, period. He said when it came to sex, Kelly didn't give a damn. He didn't have a moral compass, etc. He got it in and did it with whoever. He didn't have a regard for age. Now, I don't know exactly what soundbite this is, but let's listen to it.
One man who was very close to R. Kelly at the time is Rocky Bivens. Rocky became R. Kelly's personal business manager in '96 and was his right-hand man for the next 14 years.
Okay, so excuse me. He managed R. Kelly, and as you guys heard the journalist say, he was R. Kelly's right-hand man. Now the interviewer is going to also ask him about Aaliyah and R. Kelly's relationship. You guys know that there's a whole marriage certificate and all of that exists for R. Kelly and Aaliyah that allegedly the family went back in and dissolved, etc., and had annulled and all of that. So the journalist is about to ask Mr. Bivens, okay, about Aaliyah and Kelly's relationship. Listen to this.
He loved her, and I believe she loved him for who he was and what he was doing for her.
So Rocky Bivens not only knew that R. Kelly was a pedo and continued to work for him, be employed by him, etc., boom, pow, but he also believed that the love between this underage girl and R. Kelly was mutual. It was mutual. He believed that Aaliyah loved R. Kelly for who he was and what he did for her, etc., and that the love was mutual. Okay, let's listen to this.
Was she old enough to understand what she was involved in? I don't think so. But having a sexual relationship.
He said, now, was she old enough to understand what was happening, what she was doing, essentially, whether she was being groomed or if this relationship was even inappropriate? He can't say. Let's just go on to the next slide.
Questioning within myself, like he never did anything inappropriate in front of me. I've never seen an underage girl with Robert Kelly, and I've been right next to her.
So the reason I wanted to play this is because I wanted to show how Rocky Edward Bivens also has no moral compass his damn self, and how he's just as much of a pussy popper and a liar as his goddamn wife in. His wife said they have an open marriage that they don't have because he refuted that, even though that would have been a perfect way for him to excuse his fucking behavior, which is how we know she was actually lying. Because if that was true, that would have been the perfect clapback to Miss Tia Wanda and these 5 years of all of this shenanigans and phones and teams. Okay? But I wanted you to hear him double speaking again, all in the same breath. And this is why I don't feel like Latasha is a victim of Rocky. I feel like this is a unholy matrimony made in hell. That these people are just complementary to one another. Their dysfunctionality, their bullshit, they vibrate compatibly to one another. Okay? Now, he tries to clean it up on one end and say, I never seen R. Kelly with one underage girl, while also admitting that R. Kelly had an affinity toward underage girls. He tries to, on one end, placate to this narrative that R. Kelly could be innocent, while he already done throw the man under the damn bus. And then he goes on later on in the interview and says that he had to turn. That this is what he said now. I mean, but because he ain't got no goddamn integrity himself, I don't know how much of it is true. But because of what he knew about R. Kelly's affinity toward underage girls, he would turn underage girls away when they would come to the show, come to the studio, etc. That he was the one ciphering the girls out that were underage, because he knew that R. Kelly was a pedo, allegedly. Even says that him and R. Kelly ultimately would have feuds and fell out over this because he was the one objecting. But you also heard him sound very comfortable speaking about R. Kelly and Aaliyah's relationship. That didn't sound like a man who was angry at the reality that R. Kelly is a pedo, and he didn't seem to be a man who would have been falling out with R. Kelly over R. Kelly's alleged condition. I mean, he almost made an excuse for Aaliyah and R. Kelly's relationship by saying that, hey, I think the love was mutual. He benefited her. She benefited him. Now, was she old enough? You heard no. He was talking about this shit as if it was just it's like he's talking about a sunny day. If you didn't know Aaliyah and the situation, you would have thought Rocky was just talking about some girl R. Kelly dated way back when, some of age adult woman that he had a fling with, that he met, in the industry, etc. You would have never known he was talking about a damn underage girl. So I just wanted to play some of that to just show you how both him and his wife have a pussy. They got the same pussy popping ass spirit. Latasha Scott talks out of both sides of her goddamn neck, and her damn husband talks equally out of both sides of his damn neck. And they don't do it like, okay, one interview here and then 2 months later another interview contradicts each other. It's in the same breath. I'm talking about there's going to be a contradiction within the first 15 words used out of both of their fucking mouths. The first 25 words used out of both of their damn mouths is going to be littered with motherfucking contradictory, just lying ass motherfuckers. Now, last but not least on the damn docket, we got to get to my baby mother, T.S. Madison. Now, y'all have been hitting me up and sending me shit in the DMs. Matter of fact, am I going to be able to log into? I'm going to log into my Instagram account. How doing? She is Madison, my baby mother girl. There. Oh God, hold on. How doing? How doing? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Let me see something. I'm gonna have to log into my Instagram, y'all, because I want y'all to. This what's up, girl. Y'all sent me this, and of course, I had to speak on it. And I want to bring some balance to what's happening right now concerning TS. Okay. There seems to be a disgruntled individual who is making some crazy allegations against TS Madison. Okay, hold on, y'all, because I'm logging in from a new Pruda and things. Okay, wait a minute. Why can I log in? Okay, oh my God, hold on. I may have to just play this shit from my phone. Hold on, let me see if I can log out of my Damn it! I'm doing. Ugh. I may have to go get my. Okay, hold on. I gotta get my other laptop. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Let me give y'all some music real quick. Let me go grab my other Mac because I do not feel like having to do all this.
Listen, there's a
So hold on. Let me give y'all some deeper, honey. Let me give y'all some deeper since y'all feeling this deeper real quick. Okay, give me 2 seconds.
So you say you never had a man that make you feel like this. Yeah, before we go any farther, there is something that I want to kiss. So baby, let's take a shower so you can put on your sweet perfume. So you can pretend to be the bride, and this will be our honeymoon. Now put your arm around my neck. We don't need no towel, babe. I like it way. I like it way. We can slow.
All right.
If you want to. But there is something that I
All right, you guys. Let's see if I can do something real quick.
I wanna go deeper, deeper. Something that I wanna do. I just wanna breathe deeper, deeper. In your mind, babe. I wanna go deeper, deeper. Something that I wanna do. I just wanna breathe deeper, deeper. In your mind, babe. It's so many. If I is all blue, so you, but a rose left me. If I can't give it to you, you're my sun, sunshine, baby, in my rain. And when I'm around you, baby, you take away all my pain. And when I wanna go deeper, something that I want. I just wanna be deeper, deeper.
Or to make God. All right, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this in the ghetto ass way. All right, shut the hell up. I'm gonna have to do this in the ghetto ass way, cause I can't even do what I was about to do. So I'm gonna let you guys hear this. So there's a guy named Colleen K. Meeks. Okay. Now, I didn't know who the hell this was. I do not know him by that name, but once I did a little bit of research, I realized that I did hear about one of the situations he was involved in. Okay. So before we get into where him and T.S. Madison allegedly are, let's get into who he is real quick. And it's going to bring you kind of up to speed a little bit here. Okay. Now, after Googling Mr. Colleen Meeks, okay, this is Mr. Colleen Meeks. Apparently he is a entertainer. Okay. He is not only a singer, he's also an actor. Okay. Allegedly, he is a part of one of Tyler Perry's productions. Okay. Now, he also is a adult film star, okay? Because when I Googled him, his ass and his dick came up as well, okay? So his career comes full circle, okay? Adult film star, musician, actor, okay? Now, according to Inside Jamari Fox, okay? Get into some of this tea. Kaylin Meeks is coming for everyone who has come for him on IG. I can't remember, but I feel like one of the foxholers told me about him. I posted him one time, and one of the foxholers had a story for me. His name is Colleen Meeks, and it seemed they didn't work out. I don't know what is going on with Colleen, but he is bugging out on IG. He claims that Rick Starr stole it from him. Now, this is Rick Starr, okay? This is another adult film star. Now, I do remember hearing about this. I don't know if it was last year or year before last. There was a situation. It was going down on Instagram. I didn't get into the details because, you know, I don't really follow the drama that happens in the porn industry. Okay, I might need to get into that bag, baby, because they be having it going zone. Okay, but there were allegations of drugs, allegations of shitty booties, and I mean everything you can imagine was happening. Okay, according to Inside Jamari Fox, a foxholer sent them this. Okay, these IG posts are no longer available, etc. But it does get into some more context here. So here is Colleen, okay? And here is Mr. Foxholer, not Foxholer, but this is the guy he was openly feuding with, okay? Now, Colleen posted this, okay, to his IG. And it says, you want to hop on the hate train and spread lies and rumors after BJ Roosters. Does it look like I am on any drugs? Your house is known in Atlanta, and you better bring a plate when you go over there. Y'all want to know some real hot gossip? What you and that dog over there doing? Okay, so this guy here made some allegations against Colleen. I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, he alleged that Colleen was either high as hell or had did coke or something. It was a lot going on. Had came to his house drugged out or something to that extent. Colleen clapped back and said, hey, I don't do any drugs, and let's talk about the motherfucking house, and let's talk about that interesting pet that might also be a spouse to your raggedy ass, okay? It was going down, okay? Colleen's then posted, stay mad about this body. It is natural. Illegally 200 pounds of real muscle, okay? All of that, bruh, okay? Now, this is the guy he was feuding with here, Red Bull, etc. Just still in hide. Can we send a fire marshal or state trooper over there? She really wants that $5,000 worth of property of mine. Now, no contact. Y'all tag her and she untags. I want my stuff back. So I guess he was posting a screenshot of this person that was like exposing him, etc., had blocked him, etc., so he couldn't message this person and get off in a fucking ass. All of that good jazz, okay? The article goes on. I thought Rick Star lived in Brazil. Where they having sex at? I'm confused here. Colleen is no stranger to going off on his IG. He claims that allegedly in 2019 he was drugged and nearly killed a go-go bar dancer that he used to dance with. He claims he is still the target of being unalived as well. He claims that Tyler Perry helped him tell his story on All the Queen's Men. Okay, I assume this is an excerpt from that. Colleen writes this on his IG. In 2019, I vented on IG about how a racist go-go bar I used to dance at drugged me in hopes of unaliving me. Seen by over 2,000 people, BJ Roosters never called the police. They didn't call an ambulance. They didn't do anything. The doorman, Jimmy, said that the police are always at BJ Roosters undercover. I wasn't allowed by the police to file a report. I tried twice. In 2021, Tyler Perry helped tell my story through art on All the Queen's Men as Jay, which aired on BET this past summer of 2022. Today, I faced harassment from the police and whoever they are friends with for surviving BJ Rooster's premeditated assault to end me. Today, I'm constantly always trying to be ran over by cars, police cars, and even civilian cars who work or are friends with the police. So, girl, here it is. He believes that he's on somebody's hit list, that somebody is after him, somebody's trying to get him. He had this crazy experience at BJ Roosters, etc. Tyler Perry picked him up, told his story allegedly through art, through a show, called The Queens of Men, all of that. And this is him on TikTok, I believe, telling that story. As you guys see here, caption, I'm sorry you have been victimized by white people. You deserve so much better. Okay? Now, the article goes on to say, this is a wild situation, but when we see posts like this, okay, I don't even want to open this because I don't even know what the hell it is, girl. We're talking about, adult film stars here. Okay? Then he goes on to post something like this. The Pentagon officials suggest that alien motherboards in our solar system could send mini probes to Earth. Okay? So I guess the person who wrote this article is essentially trying to say, look, this guy has been spiraling. He's into a lot of wild conspiracies. He's been through a lot. There seems to be some type of trauma here. As you guys see here, it says, it doesn't help the situation, to be honest. I feel something else is going on with Colleen. He is lashing out and seems like everyone is out to get him. This is heading into bizarre territory. Okay? So, that's a little bit on Colleen. Okay? Some of his fans, viewers are concerned for him. Once again, he feels like his life is under attack, etc. He's been very vocal about things that he believes has happened to him. One more of those things that he believed happened to him allegedly happened at T.S. Madison's house. I'm going to let you guys listen to Colleen about what he alleges. I was going to show it here, but I can't access my damn Instagram from this new MacBook, this 2022, honey. So I'm going to let you hear it, okay? There is a video provided, and I'll probably show you guys that too. So, but just listen to this, okay? Well, I'm going to have to do something here. Hold on. Let me show you something. So this is Colleen and T.S. Madison, okay, just to show you. He has, it's a piece of a video footage, okay? And that's T.S. Madison standing behind him, and that's him in the front with his shirt up and her behind him, etc., okay? Now, he gives commentary over the still shot, okay? But before I play that, this is how he captioned it. He said, okay, this is footage of me on a television show being sexually assaulted by the television host, #TS Madison. He's extremely, he misgenders T.S. Madison by referring to T.S. Madison as a he. But I'm going to read it in his own words just so that you get the whole vibe that Colleen is on. He's extremely unprofessional. He's using an audio of my voice without my permission. He manipulated me into performing on the show. I wasn't paid for anything but a bunch of regret and embarrassment. Then he has his boyfriend David stalk me around Atlanta, leering at me, giving me dirty looks, hashtag T.S. Madison, sexual predator, sexual assault, etc. So here it is. Colleen was at T.S. Madison's house, okay? From what I gathered and all of this, let me put up my motherfucking allegedly, bitch, okay? Boom, okay? Essentially, he was a guest. I don't know whether he came with somebody, he was a plus one to someone, etc. Nonetheless, he makes it very clear that he was a guest. He was not supposed to be someone that was featured or published in this broadcasting featuring T.S. Madison. He then alleges that not only was he not paid or compensated for the part he played in this scene, but he also alleges that he was sexually assaulted and molested, etc. Now, you guys know sometimes on shows, there's something called crowd participation. If you come to a show, you're pretty much signing a waiver, right? That the host may bring you into the scene, whatever that scene is. Ellen DeGeneres has done it a million 11 times. Oprah Winfrey has done it a million 11 times. Jerry Springer has done it a million 11 times. Sometimes cooking shows do it, etc. You know, it happens in all genres where if you come to a production, you may be a part of the scene. You may be brought into the situation. Well, this guy allegedly is disgruntled that he got brought into production but wasn't compensated or paid, okay? Then he goes on to say that T.S. Madison sexually assaulted him, okay? Now, you guys saw T.S. Madison standing behind him, pelvis, the buttocks, and she has her hands, you know, up his shirt. His shirt is lifted, etc., while he's at the kitchen island preparing a drink or whatever he's doing. And this was the commentary he slapped over this audio, okay? So listen to this. Hold on, let me refresh my damn page. Because it's doing the mouth.
Footage of me on a television show as an audience member being sexually assaulted over and over again by the television host. I asked him to remove the audio of me singing. I did not know that we were recording a podcast. I did not know that I was going to be an act on his show. I was invited to be an audience member, just like anybody else can be invited to be an audience member on a professional set. That set was very unprofessional. You do not do sexual advances towards somebody like that. And then after I left, he sat up here and called me and texted me, asking me, was I okay? No, I wasn't okay because I didn't come over there for that shit. I didn't drive over there. I don't know how to drive. I don't own a car. Why didn't I get up and leave immediately? Why didn't turn around and pop his ass in the fucking face and say, stop fucking touching me? Because I have self-control. So no, I could not get up immediately when I felt uncomfortable and leave. Okay, we're going to let him sexually harass me and touch all over me, and he's not going to be held accountable for anything because it's all my fault. What I did for a living had nothing to do with what you could do to me. I was used, manipulated, and tricked. That is a man. He has a penis. That is not a woman. If I would have been drugged and he would have raped me with his penis, y'all would sit upstairs and still call him a woman? Seriously, y'all need to get y'all shit together. Now he's sending his boyfriend David to stalk me around Atlanta, giving me dirty looks, looking me up and down like you want to do something to me. I say something to you and you act like you don't know what's going on all of a sudden. Now you don't remember nothing. So I'm going to use my voice and let everybody know what T.S. Madison is really about. Okay, so this is footage of me.
Okay, girl. Did you guys hear that? Did you guys hear that? I hope you guys heard that. Okay, you guys can see Colleen is very much so offended, very much so upset, very much so agitated. frustrated by said situation. Now, he made a lot of claims in that, okay? He said he didn't appreciate his voice being used in the podcast. He wasn't compensated, that he was just a guest, and that, you know, she was not entitled to his body. Now, I guess there were some people heckling him when he was telling his story at some point in time, and people stated to him that because of what he does in part for a living, which is as an adult film star, that excuses T.S. Madison's behavior, okay? He was clapping back at that, saying that regardless of what I look like or what I do for a living, that nobody has the right to touch me without consent, especially in a sexually suggestive manner, okay? So he's calling himself holding T.S. Madison accountable. Now, I do not know what episode or what part of T.S. Madison's brand this is about. I mean, yeah, that this concerns. I don't know how long ago this took place. I don't know when the first time it was he spoke out, because I get the feeling that, you know, this isn't his first time stating this, but he put it in video form. So this is what I want to say for one. I don't believe that T.S. Madison is a sexual predator at all. There's not one part of me that believes that Maddie is a violator or a perpetrator and would ever intentionally afflict sexual harm of any kind on someone. Now, there's a lot of shit that people can do accidentally and without knowledge, but I don't believe that Maddie would intentionally afflict harm, especially in this way, on someone. Now, I do have to be balanced here, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay? I think that Mr. Meeks maybe has a false impression of what takes place sometimes when it comes to, once again, being a part of live shows, being a part of a production, etc., even as a guest. You know, as I stated earlier, you may be a part of the show. It happens all the time, especially when it comes to having a live audience, even during Kaya and, not Kaya, but during, even Kaya and Maddie's Queen's Court, even during Maddie's revising of the show, Supreme Queen's Court. Audiences were seen, the camera was turned on to them, they interacted with the content, okay? That's not above something that can happen to you as an audience member. And no, you do not collect the fucking check because you're featured, okay? Now, if T.S. Madison wants to personally, you know, send him a little coin, if he's that pressed over it, she's within her right to do, but she's not necessarily entitled to that, because he knew he was coming to a show. He knew he was coming to a production, etc. Okay? Now, on the other side of that, let's deal with sexual assault. He's right that T.S. Madison does not have a right to sexually grope him without consent. The rules do not change because it's a man in this position. Okay? People should not be touched sexually without consent. Now, does that necessarily make you a predator because you did that? No. So, what I have to consider when it comes to T.S. Madison is that, first of all, sexuality and hypersexuality is a big part of Maddie's brand. Maddie comes from the adult film world herself. She was amidst someone else who was a peer and who she can consider a peer because he also is an adult film star as well. And because of the culture of sex and sexuality and expression of sex and body positivity and all of this, and coupled with the fact that T.S. Madison is a woman, and because of the design of patriarchy, most women would not feel as though they are being disrespectful by making sexual advances to a man, even if those advances are physical. Because under a patriarchy, most men seek desirability, they seek to conquer sexually, and therefore women do not necessarily wear the cape of being a perpetrator when they seek men out or express sexual favor or sexual attraction to a man. Okay, so I can understand why, as a fucking woman, she would not have thought much about what she did. That does not mean that there was not impact, even though that was not T.S. Madison's intent. Okay, so impact has happened. She meant well. She was being playful. She was on brand. As far as the T.S. Madison brand, everybody knows what T.S. Madison gives. Everybody knows T.S. Madison is playful. Everybody knows that T.S. Madison flirts. Everybody knows that. Okay? However, this man feels violated. Can be reconciled through a simple apology. I'm curious to know if Mr. Meeks reached out to T.S. Madison and expressed any of this prior to going to the public. I'm curious to know if he gave T.S. Madison an opportunity to speak to this, to his feelings, to his experience. Because it might not have required all of this. Now I see Fresh Flower says, but so Mr. Meeks has been on porn sets, but that's his point. Okay? Is that does not give the public the right to mistreat him. That's essentially like telling a stripper that because you strip, then you don't get to claim sexual violation, or you don't get to exist in a human way. That because you strip, you should be treated like an object, or because you do because you do porn, you should not exist as a person. And that would be a mischaracterization of said situation. It doesn't matter whether he is a adult film star or not. No one is entitled to touch him and to grope him and to be sexually suggestive towards him physically without his consent. That would be equivalent to us saying because T.S. Madison is sexual and has done adult movies that people are entitled to grab her titties. They are not. That people are entitled to grab her ass. They are not. That people are entitled to grab her genitalia. They are not entitled to do that. Because these are people. They're not things, they're not objects, they're people. So consent has to be for all people from all walks of life, regardless also of gender and sex. Women need to seek permission and require consent before they begin to be physically sexual with someone, and vice versa. Okay? That doesn't, once again, in my personal opinion, make Madison a sexual predator. I would not go as far to have said, to label her as that, because this consent thing is a new thing. Most men never thought anything of catcalling. Now catcalling is being objected. Most women have not thought anything about their sexual advances toward a man because those things were typically welcomed. Okay. And men typically did not claim sexual assault or inappropriateness, especially when it was from the opposite sex. So I think there's a little bit of grace that should be afforded here. And it doesn't excuse, while there's room to consider that T.S. Madison did not mean any harm, once again, I also do understand that his experience is his experience. Is bringing something like this that possibly could have been resolved privately, publicly, going to escalate situations? Of course. I think it's a terrible situation for both T.S. Madison and Meek to be in, if this is true. And being fair, we also don't know who the hell Mr. Meek is, as people have criticized him underneath the post. And people who saw the episode, they say he was happy-go-lucky, and he was smiling and everything in the feed. His narrative is that he was smiling and acting okay because he didn't want to be awkward and fuck up the situation for everybody. So he went along to get along. Something that you oftentimes hear from women when they're in this position with men, that out of fear or out of feeling pressured or out of, being taught to cuddle misogyny, that in the face of it, they will keep a straight face. But nonetheless, experience said violation. So at best, I think this could just be a learning curve for Maddie. And, now that she realizes that there are people who are going to be, that not everybody in her space, even those who come from her world, even those who come from her culture, are not necessarily on the same politics as her. T.S. Madison may be somebody who's comfortable with being touched, especially, she just may be comfortable in that way. But it just may be a lesson in not assuming that everyone is that, including people who are in her space and people whose space she's in. And because she's at another level right now, she got to also know that with new levels come new devils. So she gotta tighten up. And I think this is an instance for her to realize, let me tighten shit up. I got Ivy Park and Beyonce on me. I'm that bitch right now. Satan's jaws are wide open, and let me be more self-aware, because there are folk who are looking to gobble me up and swallow me up. I don't think it's coincidental that T.S. Madison is having she's pivoting in her career again. She's having another rebirth. And then this kind of happens. I think it's just something that she could use as a learning curve. As for Mr. Meeks, if he feels violated, if he felt like there was a problem and she did not seek his consent, I would encourage him to reach out to T.S. Madison to resolve those things and, and pray for the best. I'm sure that Maddie is more than willing to be reasonable, okay? And to do whatever needs to be done to resolve the said situation. But, consent is a thing. Look, I'm big on personal space too. For me, I'm not a touchy-feely. I don't mind being touched if I know someone, but I'm not the initiator of touching, even if I have close relationship to people. Like, I'm not the person that's like, for me personally, I'm just not that person. I'm too pretty to be the aggressor, okay? So I'm always acting cute, okay? Being touched up on, Okay, I don't really do the touching. Okay, but I'm also not like if I know someone, you know, those things are not going to be a big deal to me. If I were to go into T.S. Madison's space, I would expect her to be her. I would expect, you know, when in Rome, you know what Romans do. You know, I know how Miss Maddie get down. I know what her brand is. I know she's fun. She's extroverted. She's loving. She's communal. You know, and she just assumes that everybody is coming in, you know, ready for the shits and giggles and to be playful. I would not have a problem. You know, if I was in her presence and she was, you know, oh, you juicy, bitch, you juicy. I wouldn't mind that. Even if I didn't give her consent. You know, I would just expect that. I know what her intentions are. And if I did feel any kind of way, I'm grown, you know, and I would communicate that to her personally. But you know, but you know, that's a subjective thing. Not all of us handle things the same way. He feel like he don't know her like that. She don't know him like that. And he just should not have been put in that position to have her all up and under his shirt, etc. And at the end of the day, I do agree that consent needs to be a thing, regardless the sex, regardless of the line of work. Consent, folk. Okay. Get consent from folk, and that's how we stay clear of these things. So hopefully they can resolve that, and you know, that can be a conversation, and maybe even Madison can have a whole discussion around that. You know, once again, it don't have to be something that's, you know, put into a dark ass cloud, but you know, it is a conversation. So all of that, I'm gonna get out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed the fucking show. Shout out to all of my contributors. My phone is fucking dead, so I can't see any of y'all. I will shout you out in the next live stream. We're going to roll on over, okay, to the next live. We're going to have Mr. Donat and William, okay, facing off, okay, regarding their last interaction that did not go so well. Yeah, Brad, he can sue her, but, you know, I mean, he can attempt to sue her. And once again, we don't even know if this is true per se. You know, we don't know Meek. He could be lying. He could be clout chasing. You know, I read the article. His people are concerned with him because he seems to be just, you know, windmilling against everybody. So, you know, does he genuinely feel like this, or is he just mad and sees an opportunity, you know, for some clout, for some attention? We don't know. Madison, I don't believe, has responded to this, and maybe she won't, you know. But yeah, you know. So hopefully they can work it out without all of that being the case, okay? So set your reminders. We're about to go over to the left, and I love you all, and we'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think about the situations of the situations. Bye.